And welcome back for another episode of Efferia Unshattered. I'm your dungeon master, Nerd Hala. I will be giving our recap tonight. When last
We're
we
safe.
met, quiet you. And as you've noticed, we have cameras. New things. Yay. When last we met, the black sheep, having traveled through a tree from the forest refuge of Norhala to the western coast of Efferia, found themselves outside of a large, dark stone keep guarded by gargoyles. They quickly realize Dustin is not among them, having split from the party at the last moment, and with Aldrin and Ileana having just become lycanthropes. After a brief confrontation with the gargoyles, the black sheep made their way into the keep. As they attempt to sneak in, however, they are greeted by a tiefling that introduced himself as Vladis. The party is then introduced to the man they were seeking, Morvik Denisovich, a previous owner of the Necronomicon. Morvik revealed that he'd memorized the book and had been spending most of his life attempting to recreate it. He was the original guardian of the Necronomicon and a servant of Razathoth. He'd been cursed with immortality after losing the book to a mysterious man in black. Morvik showed the party a series of animated murals that illustrated the line of possession of the Necronomicon, from its creation to how Baccaryn came to own it. Morvik promised to help Arapsys in any way that he could. He was about to show the party a room where he communed with Razathoth when Tim, their tiefling bard companion, cast Time Stop, freezing the party in place. Tim revealed himself to actually be Razathoth. He stepped into the room that Morvik opened and activated a portal, pulling first Princess Azura and then the moon elf Siobhan through the portal to stand by his side. Before departing with his new family, Razathoth changed the portal to a landscape of cherry blossom trees. The party now stands in Guildglen Keep, the red portal before them leading to Windvale, on the far eastern shore of Efferia. We now bring you to Guildglen Keep. The air crackles with a residual energy. From Razathoth's departure, the red glow of the portal he opened still hanging in the air like a malevolent afterimage. Helps if I bring us to the actual map. All right. Confusion and fear war with each other on your faces as you try to process the chaos that has just unfolded. Suddenly, a blinding light erupts in the chamber, momentarily eclipsing the portal's crimson hue. When your vision clears, a figure stands before you. Where is it? Radiating warmth and power. It is a beautiful humanoid with wings unfurled, their presence filling the room with a sense of divine purpose. Mortals, they boom, their voice resonating in your minds clear and commanding, yet filled with an urgency. I am Tartus, a messenger of Asterion. The balance of the realms is critically threatened. Azura, in her volatile state, possesses a wild magic that could tear the very fabric of existence asunder. She has already unleashed chaos in the Feylost, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. Tartus's gaze hardens, a note of sorrow entering their tone. She has even slain Yarnspinner, the archfey of the Gossamer Grotto. Tartus pauses, allowing the weight of this revelation to sink in, especially for Zedish. A being of immense power and wisdom, and, as I understand it, as they gestured to Zedish, someone you held in high regard. Tardis's eyes lock on Dorian and Zedish. You two, they say, singling them out. You are uniquely suited for this perilous task, and Azura does not yet know your faces. This is a forlorn hope, a desperate gamble, but it is our only chance. You must pursue Azura immediately. They extend a hand. A shimmering crystal appears in their palm. This crystal will guide you. It will lead you to where Azura is most vulnerable, where their chaotic energy can be contained. Dorian and Zedish exchange stunned glances. Before either can speak, Tardis continues. There is no time for debate. The fate of Efferia and all of the realms hangs in the balance. You must depart immediately. They gesture towards the still glowing portal. This portal, though meant for your escape, will now serve as your passage. Go now, and may Astarion's light guide your path, though the odds are stacked against you. Zedish turns to you, Arapsys, tears in their eyes. I'm scared to leave you. Not now, not after everything that's happened. And after Wenrish. They grasp your hand tightly. But I need to do this. It has to be me. I will find you, and we will dance together again once more.
Your story was always meant for something greater, wasn't it?
Tears streaming down their face, and with a final resolute look at the rest of the black sheep, Dorian and Zedish, along with Tardis, step through the portal, the crystal clutched tightly in Dorian's hand. As they disappear, the portal flickers and collapses, leaving the rest of you in an echoing silence in Guild Glen Keep.
I feel like Aldrin is just looking around at this point, like, is another fucking god gonna appear at this point? Like, what the fuck is going on? What was that?
That was my master. But he left me here. Marvik looks over to Arapsys. I said I would help you. I will do everything I can.
Well, I guess that's what sets us all apart. We do what we say we're going to do. We don't say that we are forever going to do something. Just to turn our back on that very thing. The moment we reveal ourselves. Now, we do what we say we will do. So, what is it you know?
Master must have found a way out of the void. I tried to warn you, but I cannot say his name in his presence. It is difficult. But I only know what I know from here. I can tell you the history of things. I can tell you what the book showed me, but what he is up to now, those are his own devices.
Well, he, in all of his genius, told me that my answers were in the book. That I would understand all of this if I saw the book. And you recall it. So help me understand.
He kind of back against the wall and kind of slumps to the floor in a sitting position and lets out an exasperated sigh. He goes, The book is not all that it appears. It has a mind of its own. That of my master's queen. She shows you what she wants, what he wants to further their plans. The book
So,
is not the same to everyone.
how silly. This queen. This is who we saw die so long ago.
Yes,
Wonderful. Aldrin, what is it with these wonderful old voices wanting to lead the way through it all?
This whole time, Aldrin is just staring at Gladys, like hands on his swords, just waiting. He's just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and he's just like, Morvek has been alive for a long time, but right now I don't think he's that much of a threat. Possibly. That guy, I don't know.
Go ahead and roll me insight on Morvik. Or medicine.
Well, insight is a little higher than medicine. Between a plus 11 and a plus 3, I'm going to pick insight. What's a 25 give me?
That looks great. Yeah, no, he is absolutely no threat to you. This is an old man.
Okay. And what's Gladys telling me? What's the vibe check on that one?
Vladis is incredibly on edge right now, and he is looking for an exit.
Is he now?
He is currently eyeballing the open door behind him in Arapsys.
I'm gonna give a look to Ilyana and look at that door.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't used it yet today, any of it. So I'm gonna use the belt to Misty Step right here.
Okay, and she will use her use of Misty Step to teleport right here and close the door. Vladis immediately like kind of looks around and tries to act like he wasn't trying, like he's failing very hard at trying to look nonchalant, and like he wasn't about to just bolt out the door.
I still have like one sword, like one hand on one of my swords, but the other hand I'm like,
Ileana's got a blade to his back. Just the tip right in the small of the back.
I can promise you this is definitely the sort of situation that I would recommend going along with. I'm afraid I'm the nice one. And I'm only nice for so long.
Roll me either intimidation or persuasion at advantage.
Let's see. Well, okay, I'll do this one. I'll do persuasion then.
Dirty 20, I'll take it.
That was a terrible roll. That was only an 8 on the dice.
that's still good.
Only an 8. Oh,
How awful.
All right. Yeah, he just freezes in place, puts his hands up, and you watch as he does. Arapsys, since you're the one facing him, he drops a piece of chalk, and he's got chalk dust all over his fingers.
How interesting. Are you trying to cast something then?
I was trying to get out of here.
Well, yes, that is one of the things that magic can do.
I'm not gonna move the full 5 steps to get in melee, but I'm gonna take like just one step forward towards him. Like, the old man can't die, so what is your purpose here?
You seem to be some sort of servant, not to him, but to my father. And that is what we were establishing right before he seemed to introduce himself, before abandoning me again. So I hope that you're going to choose your words very precisely, because I'm very curious, as I was asking you, before he interrupted, what exactly were your orders?
To keep the old man's information from getting out.
Ooh, wonderful. But I'm a family, so I'm not really getting out, am I?
You're here. I have no other reason to be here any longer.
Except for the simple fact that that means you'll run off and help him. Now, why would we want that?
I've never met him before in my life.
Then why have you been helping all this time?
Because she demanded it.
Ah. So you served her before she died to make that book?
Not her. looks over at Iliada, gives her like a once over. More like her. Fancier. Definitely more power.
Yes, her. That wonderful woman. And that is wonderful to know. So that means you know exactly where she is.
Might have an idea of where she might be. I only get communications. But last I saw her, before all of this, and kind of gestures to the eclipse and everything else, she was in Moonladrian, where she always is. I assume that's where she is now, with her people.
When's the last
Protecting
time you
them.
got a message?
Few days ago.
Oh,
Warned me of a
wonderful.
rogue agent that may be a threat, and to keep an eye out.
How wonderful. Only a few days ago. Do you hear that, Aldrin? That means that only a few days ago, that person was none the wiser. For other people that might be near them.
While Vladis has been talking with Arapsys, Aldrin took a very silent step and is now right next to Vladis.
He kind of glances over his shoulder at you and puts his hands up. He's like, I am not going to do anything. I am not dumb. I can clearly see that any of you could end my life in split second, so what is the point? What do you want to know?
Well, it appears that your mistress killed my mother. So I'm afraid that I'm going to need to know probably everything that you know about her. What she likes to drink, what she likes to dance, what type of music she prefers, what side of the bed she sleeps on, if she sleeps with the window open. Everything you can think of. Because I need you to understand, I'm coming for her. And she's going to die.
Honestly, she's never shown me any kindness. Go ahead. I'm sure someone else is willing to pay for my skills.
How much do I trust him?
What was that, Aldrin?
How much do I trust what he just said? Like that he would be fully willing to tell anything that we would
Insight.
like to know.
Yeah. Well, with your passive, remind me your passive insight.
21.
Yeah. He gives 0 fucks what happens to this bitch.
I'll give Arapsys a nod.
It is very clear his motivations are money. And
Actually, with that, Arapsys would turn to Ileana and be like, well, it seems like if somebody was trying to reestablish some sort of network of these sorts of things, this sort of person might be that sort of useful research. What do you think?
you're not wrong. She pulls out, digs in her pocket for a moment and pulls out a sack of coins. It sounds rather hefty. Aldrin, you'd recognize this immediately as the sound of platinum coins. And she kind of shakes it in front of him and goes, "Oh, you will be paid handsomely if you don't fuck us over." You work for us now. Tosses him the bag of coins.
I'm gonna lean in, like real close to that is, and just. Yeah, it would be in your best interest not to fuck us over.
Oh my.
Ileana just gives you a grin and digs the short sword into him just a little bit more, and he kind of, okay, fine. What is it you want to do?
Well,
What
first off, Aldrin, if that's going to be your new approach, you're going to need to be aware that one of these days someone's going to get an awkward erection. And you are going to need to tell me everything about your mistress. Exactly when she employed you, exactly what she's told you throughout the years, everything you know. It's quite simple.
And that will be provided.
Montage.
Yes, I was going to say. And that will be provided to you by your DM outside of game. All right. So, you've been questioning Vladis. What are... actually, it is about this time. We are going to switch over for just a moment as you get a message. The sending stone that you got from Dustin just before you made it to Glen Keep starts to crackle, and you hear a familiar voice come through. Dustin?
Is this thing on? Testing.
Oh,
Hello?
well, it's good to know you're alive.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Stone check.
Yes. I hear
yeah.
you.
All right. Good. So, how's it going?
Well, Tim is actually Razathoth. Froze us in place, pulled Azura and fucking Shavan through a portal, and then promptly fucked off before Zedish and Dorian got called in by some kind of angel of Asterion and disappeared. So great.
I'm assuming that's some pretty heavy sarcasm. So
Yes.
it's just you and Arapsys now? And your ex?
And Morvick and Gladys. We're making it work.
Gladys.
Right. The old man who doesn't die and has the book memorized, and
Right.
who we thought was his valet, and it turns out was actually working for Wazathoth, but also a spy for the leader of Munadrian, and now he's working for us because we're paying him more. And we haven't eaten his liver yet. Sorry, that was a little weird. I've been having some cravings lately.
You hear
Yeah.
Ileana's voice come through, and you're like, "Me too. That's weird."
I was just gonna ask, what's the range of like? Is it like basically a walkie-talkie? This stone is.
It's a
It just
rocky-talkie.
so it just
Yeah.
emits sound, and everyone who's within earshot can probably hear it.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay. How good is the receiver on that? Like, would it be able to pick up like something from the distance?
Got to be real close.
Oh, like real close, like right in the room.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna
because it's
say
still like the microphone.
you would probably hear it from the distance. Roland go, "What?"
Yeah, we'll. I think when we meet up with them again, we'll be able to explain things a little bit better.
Oh,
But it
sure.
looks like everybody's alive. No one's been assaulted by hordes of vampires again.
Well, we almost got beat up by a bunch of gargoyles, but no vampires in sight so far.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And how are things on your end?
Is this how soon after everything happening is this? Is this still the same day after we split?
This is this is before you pick up Bodrick.
This is before
Gotcha.
you like meet Sasha, really, because it just happened. Like, let's see, you came out of
No,
the
it's
portal.
been a couple hours
I don't
at
think-
least.
It's been a couple hours at least, so you're probably on your way to Sasha in the pit at this point.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Sasha have the stone? So I would have had to have met Sasha.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes
She did.
sense. So this would
I'd say
be
this
in
is
the pit.
probably
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm like, this is
yeah.
after they get to. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
okay.
this is a few
I gotcha.
hours later when they get to Roland's,
Gotcha.
like while he's making dinner or something.
So post
Post vampire fight.
post combat encounter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. What were we just talking about, Aldrin? I was doing a lot of thinking there.
How are things on your end?
Not great. I found Sasha. She's doing okay. She said that she was well taken care of by one of the oh no, I'm blanking on the name.
Marshals?
Yeah, by one of the marshals, Roland. I was like, names are failing me today, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, so Roland, one of the marshals, was actually taking pretty good care of her.
Good.
And
I was.
yeah, you could probably hear him in the background. He's making us some food. There things are very bleak here, and there's a lot of vampire spawn everywhere. So I don't know how long this place will even be safe, really.
Well, at least we can keep in touch through this. It looks like we're gonna be doing some work around here for a moment, and we can meet up soon.
Good.
Suddenly hear Sasha's voice
Yeah.
pipe in. Just go, "Hi guys."
Hi.
Yeah, that's Sasha.
Yes, I recognize the voice.
She waves at the rock
Yeah.
despite the fact that nobody could see her but you.
I think her and Ilyana would get along really well. We should introduce them sometime.
I'm sure that will go great for them.
Yeah, I think they'd get along. Especially if they have to put up with the two of us. But I don't know how long everything's going to take, but Roland says he's got some training that he wants us to do. And we're also going to go and try and get my buddy Bodrick. I just hope that he's still okay. But I'm pretty sure by the next time you guys see us, you might not recognize us anymore.
Out of character. Oh, the irony.
But once we're all taking care of what we got to get taken care of, you guys are all taking care of your stuff. Let's find someplace safe and figure out a good plan of action.
Let's try and keep in touch, maybe once a day or every other day. Make sure that everyone's still alive.
Sounds like a plan. In that case, I think dinner's calling.
All right. And we'll go.
Unbeknownst to Dustin, Aldrin turns to look at Vladis in the distance and like, soon.
Motherfucker, did you just lick your lips? Is that what I just saw?
Yes, you did. So montage. Arapsys, would you like to explain briefly what Arapsys is up to over the next 6 weeks before meeting back up with Dustin and crew in Riversmeet?
Being an angsty vampire, to be entirely honest, they have now lost everything in this journey. Everything that they've gained along the way, they've now lost while their friends are having happy conversations about their partners having dinner. And they're now dealing with the fact that they've been betrayed by the father that insisted their entire life that he was trapped, and that was the only reason why he couldn't be there. And that wasn't true, because the second he got out, he just ran off with another floozy.
Go Team Daddy issues. Woo! Yeah!
You never came to my soccer games.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, no, he said he was always too busy. He was always working. There was always something in the way.
Dustin
Now there's
doesn't
nothing
know
in the way.
his dad. Aldrin's dad's a vampire. Like,
Woo!
This is great. This
It's
is just
fine.
great.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right.
And it's taking a turn towards the period and starting to try and believe that their dad is an animal that has to be put down.
All right.
And if that happens, that means it has to be them, and then they have to be the one to take that place.
I was gonna say Dustin has a bunch of guns now. You can get one and take him out back.
I'm sorry, old Yeller.
Look at the rabbits, Lenny.
Pissed.
Look at the rabbits, Lenny. Look at the rabbits.
Yup.
All right. What is Aldrin and what are Aldrin and Ileana up to over the next 6 weeks, approximately?
Well, apparently we got word from a trio of flame elves that they caught a scent. So we went on a little bit of a hunting trip to find Cindy Luhu and get some payback. And things happened along the way.
And now you got a
Which
sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we will cover that in a future side episode.
All right. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Of course, everybody's like taking bites of food right as
Oh, I was just hiding.
welcome
I
back,
was just
everybody.
being a creepy little elf.
So,
Look, if I had hair to flip dramatically, I would, but I don't. So here we are.
Built
okay.
it.
All right. So first things first. Arapsys, roll me both stealth and performance.
Actually, before we even get here, it's going
Okay.
to start out as Aldrin. Did Dustin say that this place was overrun by vampires?
He did.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I suppose that there's one simple way that we should go about this, then. You should be your wonderful stealthy self and just, not be seen. But me? Well, why should I not be seen? The Prince of Vampires, why should they not be given the opportunity to look upon me?
Oh my God. You're going to Prince Ali these people.
We'll be
Oh, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
This is not at all what I had in mind.
Arapsys of the road.
It's literally going to be a thing of Arapsys walking down the street and people coming by, and any vampire that's around is going to get yanked into a fucking alley.
Like, who the fuck is this guy? What the?
You know what?
Quick, Aletias!
Bill? Where'd you go, Bill? Bill?
Question: is Aldrin still basically invisible even as a werewolf?
If I retain class abilities, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
That's
if
just
it
the
doesn't,
Gloomstalker thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
'cause
thought. That's what I thought.
that's why that ability is so
Yeah.
insane that when they wrote it, they didn't really think about the consequences of it.
Which, to play it safe, I would say that probably Aldrin and Ileana would stay within 30 feet of each other because I would cast Pass Without a Trace, just to play it safe. For the next hour, we would have a +10 to stealth.
All right.
See, the funny thing about all of this, too, is we have to remind anybody and everybody that nobody with dark vision does that work on. So only us weirdos with dark vision is Uldren completely invisible to. Humans, normal fucking humans, that ability doesn't
Could
work.
technically still see him. Yeah.
We would just see him like, da-da. It's like
That's why I said to roll me stealth. Because you
Which in this case,
don't have reliable talent yet.
Mhm.
no, but
Yeah, which
that's the
in
image
this case,
I love.
they're not seeing a 5'9" elf in a hood and a mask. Right now, they're seeing an 8-foot tall fucking werewolf.
Oh no, they're seeing two of them because I got to roll for your
Yeah.
girl too.
Yes.
The werewolf and the werefox.
So they don't want to go near them to begin with. And the werewolves are just like, what are you guys, or the vampires are just like, what are you guys, anybody with dark vision at all is just like, what are you talking about?
Well, I rolled a 4, so she got a 25.
Okay, great. That's a 30 for me because not 20.
Plus 10 is 40.
Yeah, is 40.
So
Yep.
we got 35 and
So
40.
40 stealth.
So nobody notices
Yeah.
you. No one.
Accurate.
There's, yeah. And meanwhile,
Yep.
Arapsys, roll me performance.
I was gonna say this is where the performance roll
Yes,
comes in because
absolutely.
it's okay. Okay, I can live with that.
Describe this scene to us, please.
Oh, it is absolutely just that like one-man procession through town, just like shaking it, doing their best to make their own music, whip dancing through the whole thing, trying to sing their own theme song through it. If they could hire backup singers and dancers, they absolutely would, but they're already in it, and it's, you know, it's too late. This is the problem with doing these things spur of the moment.
That's fair. With that performance roll, I would like a persuasion check at advantage.
Shit. What is it with that? What the living fuck? Because that is just insane.
7 and a 4.
Yeah, I still haven't. When you've given me advantage on persuasion, I have not rolled above a 10
Damn.
on the dice. I haven't gotten
Yikes.
double digits on the dice.
So, these people haven't heard joyful music in a long, long time. So, obviously, the first are the children, because they've never heard music like this in their lives, probably.
Pod Papa up in here.
And then the drunks start getting in on it. Because they're still drunk at this hour of the morning. And then the little old ladies. Because they remember the good old days when the sun still shone and music was plentiful. And
Back in 1962.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
exactly. So yeah, you end up, you now have a processional. Are you leading the entire group to the park to meet up with Dustin? Or where are we going? Where are we headed exactly?
That is the real question now in this point. Is there any sort of place that looks like there are vampires gathering? Obviously.
Let me zoom out on the map and I'll find a spot.
Real quick, I would like to retcon something because I forgot about it, but I
Yes.
talked about it with you yesterday, I think, Kate.
Okay.
Before leaving for the hunt, Uldren would have given Arapsys the silvered blood spear.
Okay. So you may now add a blood spear.
Okay. And they're like, oh, all right. Thank you.
You're fast and you move around rather easily, but if you get hit, this will give you a bit of energy back. If you stab someone hard enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then just mark it as silvered.
Wunderbar.
I obviously would have attuned to the hide in the past 6 fucking weeks.
Yes. Yes, now you may attune to the hide.
Would I have the sword as well then?
Yes.
Yes.
What's it called?
Crystal blade or crystal short sword? Let me triple check what it's listed as. Yeah, crystal short sword.
Okay.
Should be a blue item.
Mhm.
And you know it to be made from the horn of Luna Silva, the Moonstone Dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rename it to have the name with it.
So, Dustin, what is your reaction as you hear and then see Arapsys and this processional coming your way as you were attempting to remain inconspicuous along with your cohorts?
Dustin's just kind of sitting on a bench, just kind of like snacking on something small, and just kind of hears all this music. What the music? And sees everything coming from the distance. He's like, what in the hell? Sasha, are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's not normal, is it?
Your friends are weird.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know exactly which one's doing that too.
Especially because it's eventually like, the Prince of the Vampires, they're coming to save the day. You're just like, oh no.
All right, so Arapsys, this house here is the one that you think is vampire-y.
That looks swanky enough.
Yep. Right next to the park.
Right? So that's the beautiful thing. I go right past them and just kind of like wink and finger gun as I'm passing by. And then just
give
keep
like the whole
going.
acknowledge.
Bodrick comes up to you, Dustin, and goes, "Who the fucking hell was that?"
That, my friend, was Arapsys.
Prince of Vampires.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, the title's a little new on me, but I guess you could say they're one of the good ones.
Never a dull moment. And as he totters off to walk on, you will watch as a crow will swoop down low and kind of follow to see what's going on, because you know Roland is in his crow form circling overhead.
Yeah, they're a little weird at first. All of them are, but they're good people. I've definitely found that I can trust them wholeheartedly.
Well, I suppose they wouldn't have the name Black Sheep without being a little bit strange.
They took me in, didn't they?
Well, you always were. And he gives you a look over his shoulder as he's walking and just kind of smirks.
Yep. But let's let them have their fun. Looks like they're enjoying themselves.
Well, this should be entertaining. That's for sure.
All right. You meet at Daniel DeVito Memorial Park in honor of the late mayor, Riversmeet.
Could you show us an image of Daniel DeVito?
I don't. Oh God, do I have one?
I'm pretty
I
sure
was going
you
to say,
do.
how do you not?
No, I
How
don't
do
know
you
if I
not?
have it uploaded.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
valid.
I
That's
do
valid.
not
That's
have it
fair.
uploaded because that was the other campaign. But
That makes sense.
I will later put it in the
See?
yeah.
Notes of the episode or something like that.
Actually, hold on.
That's exactly why I decided to just have
Whoops.
everybody in one big campaign.
Mm.
Okay.
Just edit it in post. Just splash.
Nope, we got this. Hold on, I got this.
Boom.
She does this all the time. She's like the NASCAR like pit stop. Bam!
Oh, there it is.
Look at that beautiful bastard.
the great mayor.
The
of
late
city.
great.
Oop.
The late great Danny DeVito.
So bad.
Oop.
So yes, there is a statue of his likeness atop the hill at the center of the park. Where in the park do you meet? Do you meet out in the open, or how do you want to do this?
Well, after
Because
that,
Arapsys has a pretty big group of people that have been following them around.
yeah, and that's why this definitely ends with Arapsys leading the procession to the building over there and making a giant declaration of themselves and seeing if anybody comes out.
Oh, okay. Let's do this.
There's no way to end the procession except for this. I don't know what to tell you.
Roll me another persuasion check.
You know
That's
what?
below his popsicle stand.
Let's just go ahead and move everybody over
Jesus,
here.
what? Why? It's the one that I have a plus 12 to that it's like, nah,
We're gonna say Bodrick, Sasha, and Dustin are all kind of watching from over here, like, what the hell? What is going on?
This is either going to be very interesting or end very badly.
I'm just picturing like the flamboyant parade, and then there's just like Werewolf Aldrin and Ileana on top of like the corner of a house, like Batmaning.
Yeah.
In the end, it is the most Bollywood. It's probably the most Bollywood entrance ever. And then there's just them over top of it, like vengeance.
All right,
Yeah,
give me
We are the night.
one final performance check.
Boom, 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 boom.
As I punch my microphone trying to do the.
All right.
The one I have a 4 to. It's like
Jesus.
performance. Yeah, we got this. You got a plus 12?
Persuasion?
Nah.
Mm-mm.
It's-
Oh shit. Okay, so you see 6 heads pop out of one of the doors, just kind of like like all kind of like stacked up along each other.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
So you're saying is, if someone shoves the door real hard, there's
yes.
6 dead vampires.
Correct. They're all right at the door. Do you say anything? They're just kind of
I know.
staring out at you.
After all this time in the darkness, it might be difficult to understand. But I'm here to offer some light. And they make a bonfire in the middle. Sometimes we have to choose light instead of darkness. So I offer you this one time. Choose the light over the dark. Or perish in the dark. And they just start spinning.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay. We'll come out. We'll be right there. Just a minute. And you watch as what could only be described as a circus troupe of vampires come out of this house. Very, very costumed. It looks like kids playing dress up, but they're adults. And they're like they've been taking clothes from nobles, but they don't know how to put an outfit together. It's yeah. They look like peasants who probably got turned, took over, or killed some nobles, took over their house, and have been living there ever since.
Oh my. Look at you all.
Yeah,
You
what?
see, isn't it fun in this time to be able to come together rather than, I don't know, live through further persecution and hatred?
I ain't the one being prosecuted, man.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Nobody bothers us.
Yeah, we're
Of
like
course
top of the
not.
food chain.
Well, that's the funny thing in all of this, I guess. Someone else bigger always comes along.
You're just another vampire. You're not that much bigger.
Well, I guess that's one way to say it. And they'll slowly let their visage drop.
Oh shit, what happened to your face?
Damn, you ugly.
Well, what happened to my face is, well, I'm stronger than you. And I am born of an ancient lineage. And that's why I am the prince.
Prove it.
There ain't no Prince of Efferia.
No.
We live in a matrix.
Not of
We live in a
Efferia.
matriarchy.
I didn't vote for you.
I was gonna say that.
No. Not of Efferia. Of the vampires.
But what about the Sanguine Sovereign?
Yeah, I
What
only
about her?
recognize and
the
won't respect
backer-
one person.
Back Scratcher, whatever her name was.
Bacal.
Akalash, I
Sanguine
understand.
sovereign.
I understand, and that's
Somehow that's
rather
easier to
simple.
say.
Well,
Why?
I'm sure that she can either choose to use that in a positive way in the coming future, or, unfortunately, she'll be forced to see what you'll see. If you choose to follow her. It's really that simple. Would you like to meet someone bigger?
They look at each other. I mean, we know a bunch of other vampires. I mean, it doesn't matter how much bigger you get. I mean, we outnumber you by a lot.
Oh, no.
Point, though.
It's not a matter of, really, how many of you there are. It's really a matter of how tough you are, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that tough to begin with, so, I mean, you can have the house. That's what you want.
No. I just need you to understand that as far as everything goes, there's a new emperor in town. Yes.
Okay, boss,
I
whatever
like
you
the
say.
sound of that. Emperor of the Night. Wonderful.
Cool.
We get to keep the house, right?
Sure. Wonderful. You go back to playing your wonderful dress up and, well, I'll hope and keep praying that the gods of fashion smile upon you.
Cool. Thanks. And we promise only to eat the assholes.
You know, in better times, there are oftentimes those that are animals, and they can be used as animals rather than just rampant feeding. It's cattle for cattle, if you will.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always the blood farms.
There's a better way, is more of the point. There's a better way.
I don't want to.
We gotta learn.
Well, unfortunately, yes. Because when the sun
work.
comes back, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Whoa! Who said anything about the sun coming back?
Unfortunately, all of this will die if it doesn't. All of it. Everyone. Gone. No farm, no cattle, no plants, no chaff. Nothing. Nothing but starving vampires, spinning away on a dead rock.
So you're painting this picture for this guy, and you can see him staring, and you're painting this picture, and it's like the first time that it's seeping into the cracks in his brain of what you're saying, and the realization.
Plants don't crave electrolytes?
And now I'm imagining there's like this brewer of Gatorade somewhere in Efferia now. I don't know how or why. It's just somewhere.
Brondo.
Dan, roll me a D100, please.
I feel like Aldrin
Oh,
crouches
no.
down and like keeping his voice low so that only Arapsys hears it. Just like,
Are you sure you want to start with that?
It's the answer to life meaning and everything.
I'm assuming he rolled 42. He did.
Did it not come through?
It did.
Yes, it
It
did.
did. Hold on.
It's like a perfect number for that. I don't know what I'm rolling for, but
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
I like it. Oh no.
It wasn't good.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. You catch Sasha's arm as she trips on a loose cobble. She looks down, and underneath is a strange coin. Do you pick it up?
Mm, I mean, far be it from a gambler to not be willing to pick up extra coin. So yeah.
As soon as you pick it up, you begin to hear children laughing very clearly, as if they were close, but there's no one here.
Well, that's a little creepy. Is anybody else here little kids?
No?
Bodrick is eating an apple. No.
What if you touch this coin? And just kind of holds it out between the two of them.
I'm not touching it. Oops, sorry.
Here's something creepy.
We broke
I
the
don't.
candles.
What if you touch this?
It's because I went to the other window for a second and just got angry.
Ah.
Okay.
Angry.
Angry. Technology. So
Far be
yeah,
it from a gambler not
Dustin,
to
check
pick
your
up a
notes.
coin. But of course, that was at the moment he was gambling with the thought that it was not cursed.
Noted.
Mhm.
Well, might as well hold on to it for a little while. Just kind of like flips the coin, catches it, and stuffs it in his pocket.
All right.
Quiet out there, you damn kids.
Dustin, there's no kids around. What are you yelling at?
So I think the skull is making me go a little bit crazier than normal.
Right.
Or either that or that coin that I shouldn't have just thrown that coin in with the rest of my coin, shouldn't I?
Probably not.
Oh, I'm
Bodrick
losing
starts
my edge.
laughing at you.
I'm losing my edge.
I hope you can still sleep after this.
That's not foreboding at all.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think we've encountered anything that hasn't been foreboding in the last few months.
Accurate. Anyway, your friends seem entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, they we kind of go back and forth between being incredibly discreet and making a very grand spectacle.
How's that working out for him?
Well, we're not dead. So,
True. Let's try to keep it that way.
I agree. I'll let them handle the spectacle.
We handle the violence.
Yeah. But though, since they're doing their thing right now, there's a lot of people around here and probably a lot of prying ears and eyes.
On it.
I'm
And Sasha's already up a wall and climbing onto the roof.
And Bodrick's
I'm just
following her.
I'm just picturing Sasha getting on the roof and bumping into Aldrin without seeing him.
Hold on. Higher low.
That would be fucking
Oh,
hilarious. Let's go high. It's on the roof.
Nope.
Ah,
Sorry.
she runs into Eliana.
So Sasha's about right here now.
Yep.
I would assume I see her come up the roof.
Oh yeah. Ileana
I was
kind
gonna
of
say we
elbows
should
you.
just like talk to them, but
Ili-
I guess climbing works too.
She leans over the top of the roof and puts a hand out to help you up. So you can roll athletics or acrobatics with advantage.
Alrighty. Athletics. Let's get up on the roof. Oh, thank goodness for that advantage.
As soon as Dustin gets on top of the roof, he can feel a very large presence right behind Sasha.
Sasha's gonna turn around with a daggers drawn.
Yes, babe, I'm still down here.
Bodrick, don't move.
Good morning, Dustin.
Oh. Is Aldrin's voice far enough away from his normal voice that I would not recognize it?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
Location-wise, it's about 2 feet higher.
I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of sounds like. Well, I mean, he mentioned that he turned into a lycanthrope, but you're not really sure because you would guess that this is probably Aldrin.
I only know one sneaky individual that only I could sense if they're within 10 feet of me.
You also see
You don't have to stab this one.
a white fox, werefox, shortly, not far behind. But Aldrin, Sasha still has her dagger at your throat, or at least as close to it as she can reach.
And your throat is right here on the fucking chest.
Yeah, no, we'll say right at your gut.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably get
As
Bodrick up
nice
on the
as
roof
this
too.
little toothpick looks, it's not going to help much.
Dustin, what the fuck is happening?
Dustin,
just
do
all
I
take a
need to
breath.
broken arrow and throw a grenade up there? I can do it, bud. I'll do it.
Podrick, stand down.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody chill. We're all gonna put down our weapons. Especially your crossbow. Grim got the reference.
Like Aldrin just like superhero landing next to Bodrick and like grabs him by the scruff and throws him up onto the roof. And then because I have a climbing speed, I'm just
Ileana catches him by the back of his jacket and then just kind of shakes him a little bit and then drops him.
I don't like your
all right?
friends, Dustin. I don't like them at all.
I would say you get used to them, but I'm still getting used to them. So now that we've got everybody, is Arapsys good down there? Just kind of like looking down, seeing, probably still having the conversation with the 6 vampires.
I think they're trying to make friends, but they seem a little dull.
Yeah. I mean, friends here. Friends one day, food the next is what it kind of seems like it could be, depending on who you are. Should we just have a conversation up here on the roof? Or how?
Do you want your friend to be part of this?
Yeah. Then we got to send somebody down to get them and then bring them up to the roof.
Well, your big shaggy friend here can fucking do that for our fuck's sake. It
Yeah.
thumbs is over to where Aldrin was.
But now
Ileana,
he's not. I'm assuming like 15 feet over.
Ileana gets in Bodrick's face a little bit and just growls for a moment, and then kind of makes that little fox laugh sound, and then stands back up.
I'm gonna, because it's small enough, so I'll risk it. I'll place a candle, like on the rooftop, like between everyone, and control flames light it up with like a snap. So just suddenly, everyone can see big fucking bulky werewolf Aldrin.
Sasha slaps her hands over her mouth, just like.
I'll go get Arapsys.
Cheese and crackers.
And just vanish out of the light.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely still Aldrin.
All right, back to Arapsys.
So look, you just stay here, keep doing your thing, but just be nice, because things are going to be changing.
Define nice.
Well,
I think I look pretty nice already. I mean, I got
As
these
long-
them fancy clothes and stuff.
yes, and just like you said, as long as you're not feeding on the assholes, you're not persecuting those that are weaker than you, then hopefully when the sun comes back, we can come and find you and offer some peace. That's really the plan.
So we just keep doing what we do and don't hurt nobody, and we're good.
Yes, and you can kindly fuck off.
Okay, bye.
And they turn around. These vampires are no more threat!
Sasha looks at Dustin and just like that.
Well, I'm suspecting probably at least those ones. The rest of them.
I'm convinced.
There's just like a heavy thud right behind Arapsys and like cloud of dust. And just like above Arapsys' head, there's just like the werewolf head like getting into the bonfire light, looking at the last vampire there.
Wonderful. I was wondering where you got off to.
Holy gee, Willikers, that's a big feller.
Well, yes, that's why I said if you needed to see bigger, that I could make it happen. Isn't it better to choose good?
Where is that?
That's a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's a very big puppy.
Doesn't look like a puppy.
Well, yes, unfortunately, this one doesn't get fed very often, and that is why I was trying to offer you the peaceful way, because unfortunately the non-peaceful way was feeding him.
Yep, no, I'm good not being eaten. Okay, goodbye.
Just
Go
wait,
inside, everybody. Let's
wait.
go. What?
Wait, and there's one vampire. Just out of gruesome curiosity, what does he eat?
I haven't tried vampire yet.
See, we generally get along, so of course I'm not on the menu.
Yeah, I want to fuck with that. Let's go empty those kids like Capri Suns, man. And he turns around and walks back inside.
Just turns and looks at Aldrin.
I wasn't sure what your cue was for me to jump in.
Well, unfortunately, it sounds like we are going to take care of something with whatever it is you're here to inform me, and then, unfortunately, we're going to go take care of someone else.
Right. Everyone's on the roof. We're just waiting for you.
Ah, wonderful! And you see as they walk over and David Bowie just walk up the wall.
I feel like you could time it to the Bee Gees staying alive. Just
Oh, absolutely. Any musical beat.
Yes.
And then just the spin to come around the next side. Flip around the corner like, hello. Dustin, it's been so long. I had to get rid of a parade. Sorry, it was a bit unexpected.
Down below, the parade's just kind of like, that's it? I mean, it was cool you walked up the wall, but that's it? Just come talk to these vampires?
Please, go spread the word of the Prince of Vampires. The sanguine sovereign's reign is at an end.
All right. And they just turn around and slowly start to disperse.
Go. Fuck off.
Arapsys, before you David Bowie up the wall, you look down and there's a small child yanking on your pant leg. Have you seen my mommy?
I am afraid I haven't. But yet, I've seen others that look quite a bit like her, in everywhere I go.
I didn't even tell you what she looked like yet.
What does she look like?
Like mommy?
Well, that's entirely what I thought. And I am afraid in this moment that the only thing we can hope for is that whatever farm Mommy has gone to, that hopefully she'll come back one day. And I will make sure that I can bring the sun back so that that farm can stay nice and healthy for her.
Okay. I scratched my knee. And you look down and the kid's got like a trail of blood trickling down their shin.
Oh no.
I tripped.
Well, that does seem to be a bit of a problem. I'll tell you what, just this once. Just because you're such a darling little one.
I feel better. Yes, Aldrin, you should. I'm also going to roll for Ileana. What is that, a wisdom?
Let's see how that goes. Yep.
Wisdom
Oh
save?
no.
Also, Arapsys, when was the last time you fed?
Well, it definitely would have had to have been during while we were at Gilglen Keep.
And whomst would you have fed upon?
I don't know.
That's a good
That
question.
would have to be things to figure out for that exposition sake.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, DMs. We're under the light of a full moon. We both failed. It's a 20 under the light of a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
What have I done? Dustin, you watch
Uh-huh.
as Ileana's head turns towards the child and starts drooling and licking her chops. Arapsys, you notice Aldrin doing the same.
Well, do you remember when you were given something to be able to help with this?
It's been a long time.
Dustin?
Well, I remember Aldrin giving me a bullet and not telling me what it was for.
Well, he kept saying he gave you something in case he lost control.
Ileana is starting to slowly prowl along the top of the roof.
Long story short, I don't have that anymore.
What do you mean you don't bloody have it?
I don't know which pull is stronger between the helpless bleeding child or Dustin wasting the one contingency plan.
How close is Aldrin to
No.
the child? I'm gonna roll a perception check for this kid.
The child is no longer bleeding.
There's now just the faint smell of what used to be bleeding.
Right.
Is Aldrin close enough for the child to see him?
If this is before Arapsys walked back up the wall,
Yes.
Aldrin is right behind Arapsys.
You know,
Yeah.
there's, to be entirely honest, too, there's no way, given it, that even when they healed the child, they wouldn't have just been like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's
That's fair.
Like,
I know you're a vampire, but
So
Gross.
yeah, you said light
I've
of the
tasted blood
bonfire,
more than
so the child
Yeah.
would definitely be able to see Aldrin, and you watch as their eyes just go wide, and then they run screaming, going, "Mommy!" and take off
So,
down the street.
Like, do I roll again to fight the predatory instinct of small thing running away from me?
yeah, chase the rabbit.
Give me a strength save, Aldrin.
Normally I would choose to fail. I don't get a choice. I do fail.
All right.
Arapsys just kind of reaches to punch you, and instead of grappling you, vines just...
And
Like Aldrin goes to leap after and just falls backwards. Momentum just...
Sasha gets a 27 to stab her rapier into Ileana's tail to keep her from climbing off the roof.
Mine was nicer.
For 13 piercing damage.
Aldrin does take 5 piercing damage.
All right.
Yeah, Sasha just kind of panics and then just like lunges at the last moment and just pulls her blade and just stabs the end of Ileana's tail to keep her from climbing down.
Pouncing on the kid.
Yeah.
Right, which one was Oh. Now, if we could, I don't know, try to do this regrouping thing I believe you were wanting to do. Before you told me you wasted the one and only thing that you were given to help stop this person.
Well.
Well, when you put it that way, Sparky.
Roland just kind of like shakes his head and slowly gets back up.
I mean, like I said, I didn't know exactly what it was for, but all I knew was that it was made of silver, and we needed silver to stop a demon.
I'm
So
sorry.
in that moment, I didn't really have much choice.
I'm sorry. What demon?
So, Bodrick over here was helping us with that. Well, we were helping him, rather. There was a dryad that seemed to be either... It was a really weird situation. It was either like a dryad that was possessed by a demon or a demon that started to take the form of a dryad, but it had innards and organs and it kept reforming itself. It wasn't really like a dryad, but we threw everything that we had at this thing and it didn't stop. The only thing that stopped it was the silver.
Fuck.
So like I said, I didn't have much choice.
We never considered that.
Considered what? Who?
Well, you might have been tripping balls a bit much at the moment, but there was a tree
Trees. Yeah.
possessed by a demon at one point. And in the Feywild, if that treant had a dryad, it's possible before we ever got there, these sorts of things would have been created. But you know, that means if you had simply waited for me, we could have potentially done something about that.
Well, that was also about 5 weeks ago.
Oh my, you wasted it that long ago. And you didn't replace it. Do you know how to make bullets in this? I mean, don't you have coins?
Coins, yes. But also
Sasha.
spending a lot of time training.
Sasha
Not
looks-
training on making bullets, huh?
Not those kind of bullets.
Why not?
You don't want to burn silver on practice ammunition, for one.
Well, no, but shouldn't you have made one if you would prepare? You went, oh my bloody hell, that thing's terrible. I never want to fight something like that again. But the only thing that stopped it was this. Well, I better never make one of those again.
That's when you hear a crow caw. Do you look over to it?
Oh, it would definitely be a slow, just...
And on a chimney stack on the roof here, just perched, looking at you guys, is a crow with golden eyes.
Dustin, I need you to be honest with me.
Okay.
Have you been making friends?
Well, only one new friend. Remember the marshal that we heard about that found and helped Sasha? Well, that's him.
Yes. And what if I told you that we got to see some of your new friends past?
Mhm.
What do you mean?
He's the one that took the book and gave it to her.
Dustin, what are they talking about?
But he's supposed to be dead.
Well, he's not dead, and he's been serving McTall for... How long did we figure, Roland? Hundreds of years?
About
Or was it
1,000?
thousands? 1,000? Yeah.
Something like that?
I mean, all I could say is he hasn't led anything astray. He's been helping us out for a couple months now. There hasn't been any odd feeling, ill feeling whatsoever.
He gave a fade. You know the book, Dustin.
The journal or the book that
Necronomicon.
you went to go get?
The Necronomicon. The book that started all of this. The one that Backrash used to make this entire Blood Moon Eclipse stole.
Who's watching the crow? Or like
Sasha's.
anyone
Arapsys has
else?
been doing like this
The side eye?
over, yeah, like talking over their shoulder while keeping a view on the crow the entire time.
As you're speaking,
as I get back on the roof, I would have cast Cure Wounds on Ileana.
Okay.
And
Yep.
like definitely, as soon as the discussion about the crow happens, Aldrin is just fixed on him. I couldn't get a snack. There's another one right here.
Birdie.
the crow, as you're talking, as best as a crow can, emotes that almost like a heavy sigh, hangs its head, and then hops down from the chimney onto the ground and waits for you to finish talking. Or onto the ceiling of the roof, rather. Waits for you to finish talking.
So you know that book, then?
Yeah.
And
It's
you
the one that we went
know...
to go find info about.
Yes, and info did we find. We got to find the exact path of ownership that it had followed. My father made that book out of his first wife.
Who's got the highest passive perception? Is it Aldrin?
At this point, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait, what is Aldrin's at this point with the hide?
21.
Wait, 21.
The hide doesn't change it.
Oh, yeah, right. No, that would be Ileana with a 23.
Ooh.
Until I level up.
So Ileana would notice it first, then Aldrin would notice that a huge murder of crows has started slowly, lazily descending towards your position.
Oldwine's claws are just slowly digging into the roof tiles.
Sasha is tapping Dustin with her 22 perception.
So, that book was given to a follower of my father. That is the individual that we found. Your friend here stole the book from him and gave it to the woman that Basketball got it from. And that woman supposedly killed him. Which is very interesting, because that woman tortured me and Bocce for years.
As you finish for years, that murder of crows descends onto that main one that was standing amongst you and begins to swirl around and coalesce. And Dustin, Sasha, you would know this as Roland forms and comes to himself and stands, hands out, away from his guns. Yes, I did. It's true.
Why?
Does anyone have a drink? Sasha, Dustin, you guys would know. He doesn't ask for alcohol. Ever.
I don't think I have anything on me. Bodrick, do you happen to still have that bottle from last night?
Oh, just one moment. And he rummages in a bag. Well, there's this one, and then the other one I found that I was keeping secret. And if it's an emergency, Roland, you can. And he offers it up. Thank you. Does anyone have cups? I'm willing to share.
Oldwine is just visibly tense and ready to leap. He's like staring at Roland, and every now and then it's like, you know, the classic dog thing of like very quickly looking to the side and then back at what they're staring at towards Arapsys, like kind of what's the play here?
I'm afraid that I don't quite have the same taste in drink. That's why I gave these two my last bottle.
Well, and cups apparate from somewhere. I'm not sure where, but there's some cups, and whoever wishes to have a drink is. Roland sits and has a drink and has just a glass with him. Takes a swig. Have you ever had your love used against you? And looks at Arapsys.
Yes. At which point? When she sent her follower to kill my first love? Or when the fates took another one from me and dangled this wretched journey in front of me? At which point?
For your woes, I apologize. But 1,000 years ago, when I was mortal, things were different. I was an adventurer. The best.
Hair to the knee.
No. I spent so much time adventuring and questing and slaying beasts and righting wrongs. I knew nothing of women. Absolutely nothing. I had no romantic interests. Not a single thought in my mind. I was completely devoted to my task, being the best damn gunslinger I could be. Enter Lady Morgana Susanna de Chanteclair. The beautiful woman, raven hair, blue eyes. Gorgeous woman. A voice like silk. A touch that electrified. I didn't know it at the time, but she saw an easy mark in me. It seduced me, captivated me with her intelligence, her abilities. And during our several-month affair, she convinced me that the best course of action was to deprive the enemy of nice things, of important things, of things that they could use to hurt us. She told me of this book in Infernia, convinced me that the best course of action was to go there, steal it, and to lock it away somewhere else, far away from Razathoth. I believed her. I assembled my party, and we sallied forth. He takes another swig. They died one by one. People I had fought alongside with for years. On this quest for the book. Finally, I came to it. I came across this individual. You say he's an old man now, but when I faced him, he was a powerful warlock. We battled, we fought, and I won. I claimed the book and fled from Infernia. Alone. I made it to the de Chanteclair estate weeks after having set out on my quest. And I presented her my trophy. She embraced me. She kissed me. She thanked me for my service. He stands up, takes off a coat, takes off a vest, pulls up a tunic, and turns and shows you right where his kidney is on his right side. This jagged gash that never has really healed. And there are black crack marks that come off of it. I don't know what venom or poison she used, but it was fast. I choked on my own blood as my muscles seized. She laughed as she walked away, calling me a damned fool.
That's almost funny to me.
In retrospect, it is to me too.
It means that she cared about you. Don't you see? Those that were just tools to her, she kept them. She tortured them, day by day by day, just to entertain her. If she saw you as useful and got rid of you, it's because she cared to not see you hurt more. This was mercy for herself.
He looks at his glass, and there's tears in his eyes. Why do I wish I'd never loved at all?
Because it hurts. Pain only reminds us that we were alive, though. It's not meant to be a curse. It's not meant to make us want to die as much as it does. It's meant to remind us that we had something worth losing. Maybe you've lived long enough to understand what it is to lose. And those rare moments when you feel.
Roland glances over at Uldren. What's Uldren doing now? Still ready to pounce? You're muted, bud.
My bad. Yeah, the whole time he's been ready. He was like, at one point, I feel like he was a little like, okay, that's a great sub story, but what the fuck are we doing? The kind of half getting bored, but then still like, I don't know where this is going still, so he's still like very much on edge.
Sasha and Ileana are looking at each other like, are we having a fucking picnic at our roof in the middle of a vampire invasion? Like, what the fuck?
To be
Well,
fair, we've done worse.
You asked how I came to possess the book.
Yes, I said why. And now you explain to me the same manipulation that unfortunately marks her entire path. But you're the reason that it was there. You're the reason that this was possible.
Correct. Why do you think they won't let me die?
Did you not make a deal?
Oh no. This was no deal. Well, the only deal that there is that if given the opportunity, Morgana is mine.
So, then, you made a deal with Niktar.
I did. That would serve.
We'll see. Then you've done something. But that is the point of all of this. Pain twists us. It destroys us. Hurt people, then just hurt people. That's what all of this is. This darkness. So let's stop that and get the book again, then.
That will be a challenge.
Well,
For many reasons.
yes. Unfortunately, given everything that's happened to us in the past few months, I believe it's the easiest of the two, though, so... Yes. Taking down the Sanguine Sovereign, rather than taking down the head of Mulandrian with the God of Darkness helping her, so... I think that Sanguine Sovereign is my choice there, yes.
You're going to go after Baccaryn in the book. You'll need a distraction. You said you were at Guild Glen Keep?
Oh, that's where we came from.
So you're familiar with those gargoyles, then?
Yes.
Naimon has more. And they're scarier. On top of that, she has an army of vampires, vampire spawn, and mortals who have thrown in with her. Either you're going to hack and slash your way through all of it to get to her, or you need to orchestrate a distraction to get that army away from Naimon.
Darling, haven't you
Strike at the
seen?
heart.
Distractions are sort of our thing.
Then who goes in after Baccaryn and gets the book?
Well, I think the precise thing to figure out would be a way to get between the two. Armies are slow. Magic is not.
Make her move the book?
Correct. If she hears that it's me, she will come. I believe the book is tainting her. It's making her want me. Its whispers are becoming potentially stronger. Everything I have heard from her, it seems to be becoming obsessive. She will come. Her army will make her seem cocky, as it always has. She will seem flamboyant, over the top. But she's not the only one who knows how to have a trap, now is she? Do you know how to hit a target from a distance, don't you?
Glances at Sasha.
Sasha raises her hand. I can help you with that one.
Well, you see, part of my wonderful plan here is that our good friend here is mostly invisible if we don't want him to be seen. Well, at least when it comes to all of my kind.
So, the plan is to distract Baccaryn with essentially exactly what she wants.
Yes.
See if she comes out, and while she's away from the castle, and probably bringing an army, maybe somebody sneaks into the castle and gets the book.
Exactly.
A certain someone who is incredibly powerful and, as you just said, invisible. Looks at the massive, hulking werewolf. Do you think you can do that?
I've heard now he can climb.
If the book is there, I'll get it.
Look, this offers me another opportunity. You know how that witch twists people. And now you've seen how anything from my father can do the same. She has both. I have to try.
Try what?
To offer a better path.
And Roland looks down at the courtyard you had just been making the deal with Gomer Pyle and company. And I can respect what you're trying to do, but
when we have the book, the sun will rise. That will, by itself, in and of itself, help end a lot of vampires. It will force them to hide, something they have not had to do in, well, years now. Fear, I'm sure you understand, drives people. I'm willing to be the fear in this situation for my people. I will be the Abyssal Scion for this. I will bring terror as I bring back the light. So I will offer her a better path, as we hope to end everything that she stands on. So at that point, it's a question. Why keep moving forward?
you know, I don't know that anyone's ever thought of loving their enemy into submission.
Hurt people, like I just said, darling.
It's a novel idea. I don't know that anyone else has ever tried it before now. All right. We'll try it your way. And in case it fails, well, glances at Dustin, Sasha, and Bodrick.
Then, guns. Boom, boom.
I feel like Roland keeps it to himself.
completely above board, though, it would be such an amazing cinematographic fight, because it would be Baccaryn and Arapsys just monk fighting with gunshots flying in the entire time, like...
Yeah, it would. And then werewolf.
Right? Just...
Hey,
that
look
would be the
ahead.
Hulk moment. Yeah, it would be you would be the Hulk of that moment, like the puny god. Like,
I'm more picturing like if Baccaryn gets the upper hand, Aldrin just shows up and grabs her head and punch.
but we get a book. We offer a help and a way out. And if not, we offer a cannon. I hear bitches love cannons.
Sasha shaking her head or nodding her head emphatically. It's true.
Roland looks over at Sasha and goes, "Oh, I have a toy for you back at the Alamo."
It's sweeping the nation. Bitches love cannons.
Sasha looks back at Dustin and just kind of gives him like a little excited smile.
New toys are very exciting. I don't blame you.
You know, something occurred to me, though, in all of the news that we've been told. Something we haven't considered. Just something to put a pin in for later. That witch has unwittingly, or potentially wittingly, now led to the death of two archfays that stood on the other side of the council from her.
Roland sits up as he realizes what you're talking about. Oh my. Oh my. Ha! It's a bold move. Who do you get to convince? And then Roland stops and goes, "That's my job." All right, then.
Unfortunately,
I'll go make some friends. I know a few people. We'll keep in touch. But, it is good to meet you all.
it's good to meet someone who understands the pain that this journey can give to us.
You know, I've gotten the book multiple times in the past. And I need to warn you. Why it is very, very important you do this the right way and put the book back in Infernia the correct way. I have destroyed myself 4 separate times trying to get rid of that damn book. The first time was in the middle of the ocean. Strapped myself to wait, clutched onto the book. Bottom. Have you ever been crushed to death?
Well, no, not yet. But I do apparently have a very long time.
Well, one of the downsides is they won't let me die. So I get reconstituted every time I'm destroyed. I've been crushed in a cave-in. That was accidental. Jumped into the fires of Magmortem. And you guys would know that that is the volcano region of the Duragar to the south.
The part that looks like Mount Doom.
Yes,
Yep.
correct.
Exactly that.
And the other time was an accident in the Alamo. That one was... We were trying... It's teleportation. Anyway, it didn't work. The book, once freed, will find a way. And the problem is, I had such a problem getting to it in the first place, and it wanted out. And you're going to be trying to put it back in.
Well, unfortunately, it sounds like... Maybe we can hope that we can put the book with my father. Because either he takes that book and goes back there, or I do. That's the choice.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
There has been many parts of this road that I have hoped it would not come to. And unfortunately, every single one has come to pass. If there's one thing that maybe this family does, maybe it's being alone.
With brief bouts of happiness in between.
I guess with eternity, that's all you can hope for.
Speak true. Say thank you.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, I suppose I should be on my way. I have people to talk to. Turns to Dustin and Sasha. Clint and Scott are still alive. I've been meaning to tell you this entire time. There are silver bullets back at the Alamo. Plenty. And I even have some, but I keep them reserved for just in case. I didn't have any on me the time we, ran into Vinehead. But I do carry them on me now. And he will get a small, little, like 6-inch by 4-inch wooden box. And you open it, and it's got about 12 rounds of silver ammunition. And he hands you 6 of them. And he keeps the other 6. It takes time to make them correctly. Looks to the others and goes, it speeds that the bullet travels at, compressive forces, silver's kind of a softer metal. Long story short, it takes a long time to fabricate. Anywho, last time I talked to Clint and Scott, they are working on more, but it takes time, like I said. Use these sparingly.
If they can make anything for Bodrick, let us know. Anything
I'll
helps.
put them onto it. I'll stop there first and see if maybe the Winchesters have returned or not.
Hey, Bodrick has a launcher sound or something.
I feel like Aldrin has relaxed at this point, and he kind of leans into the conversation.
Are there other metals you could make bullets out of?
I like to imagine that, like, there's this conversation happening. Roland and Dustin and Sasha, they're just like, yada, 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 yada. And then just, like, the voice is emanating from just off of his left shoulder. It's like, it's
Yep.
right here in his ear. Just like, hey,
Absolutely.
how you doing? It's just like, Jesus!
How you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
That's odd.
Just-
Yeah.
Just be thankful he's not greeting you the other way.
Right?
Uh,
What kind of metals were you thinking of, my large and incredibly intimidating friend?
The kind you would find at the bottom of Hell's Door.
I
What
don't
do you-
know anything off the top of my head, but
Their shackles suppress abilities and magic.
I'll ask. I'll ask if they know. Anything else?
There's just like the sound of claws on tile moving away.
Gets close to you, Dustin, and like kind of pulls you in. Is like, has he always been like this?
There's a part of me that wants to say not always, but I really do think he has always just been like this. I think it's just been accentuated since he had his last growth spurt.
I may be immortal and would reconstitute, but glances over at him, at Aldrin. Getting torn apart by a werewolf sounds absolutely wretched. I do not care for the experience. Being burned alive in lava was enough.
Yeah. I don't really want to experience any of those.
Then don't try and destroy the book that way. It doesn't work.
Good to know.
And he looks you dead in the eye, Dustin, and says, "You take care of yourself, Marshall." And he offers you his hand.
Firm, grasping handshake. Thank you for everything you've done.
I'll be in touch. You've done
Look
well.
forward to it.
With that, he turns, walks off, the roof, and as he falls, you just see crows scatter, and he flies away.
Straight up Batman exit.
Exactly.
And really, he was talking about our dramatics.
You're just jealous!
Get on my level!
Flap, flap, y'all!
right? Just like... Mic drop out!
Oh,
So, I
Now
take it
that,
these weeks have been eventful for you.
small smatterings of eventfulness here and there, but mostly just to accentuate the training that we've been going through. We've gotten really good with these weapons.
Yes. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of thought about what I'm going to have to do on that exact sort of subject.
Do tell.
And Arapsys turns and looks at Aldrin and Ileana. Unfortunately, with Zetish gone, the person who cared so much about training is gone. But I believe that there's only one person who can possibly help you get better at fighting vampires.
Well, don't leave us in suspense. What do you think? Who's that?
It's me.
Oh, because
My
you're
only
a
training
vampire.
partners. Yes, there we go. Yes.
Dots.
If you want to fight vampires, I'm really the only one you have right now. It's just as Zetish was the only militaristic one we had before. So now, I guess if our little wolfies want to have a snack, they'll have to catch me.
Ileana
I
just
can
grins.
think of a few more training targets.
And Aldrin looks back to the house across the street.
Well, yes, that is unfortunately a bit of the necessity of the now. Now that little debacle is taken care of, I believe that the compatriots of mine down there said that they were going to snack on some children.
I'm gonna reach in the bag of holding that's just hanging off my side and pick up one of my old silvered short swords and put it in front of Dustin.
Don't waste the bullets.
So, just
This is in case we eat the children.
So, just so that we're clear on any potential unsaid intentions, you are giving me this weapon with the intent that if you go feral, stab you. Yes?
Ren looks back to Ileana. Give her a look like, how have they survived by themselves so long?
As you look back, Ileana is in the process of handing a silver dagger to Sasha.
You hear Bodrick go, "You know, you really should have stayed in school, Dustin."
Yeah. I really missed out on the like mythological creatures unit.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
I will give Bodrick 2 of my 3 silver filing grenades.
You know, it
Podrick
makes a lot
basically
of
your
sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, Dustin. All of this time, you've never dealt with any sort of supernatural creature. So the second the god of bloody death came in front of you, you made a deal.
Sasha just kind of pats him on the cheek and goes, I mean, he was always the face, not the brains.
Yes.
Hey, that was my job. I'm the brains. He's the pretty one. He's the one that went in and talked to everyone.
We'll see. And I'm glad that has gotten you this far, so that this has all happened. But now I'm afraid you've made that deal, gotten you to this point, and put you on this path.
Yeah.
Now it's time to put it to bloody good use.
And I'm hoping that this path ends with a one specific vampire several feet under the ground.
In pieces.
I understand. I understand deeply. I can really only say that 2 people have taken my consent in all of this. One was Morgana, and the other one was Baccaryn. But despite that, the first one who did it to the second one. That's who taught her. Hurt people hurt people.
And if you're going to be a better man, you got to break the cycle somehow. And the only way to break the cycle is to not offer nothing but death, but life. Looks over at Dustin. Makes sense. Your friend's got a lot of points.
Yeah.
They break off a rose from their head. That has been the entire idea all along. Choosing life, just for once.
Here's the thing about that, my friend. In one hand, you offer peace. But in the other hand, keep it behind your back. Carry a big fucking gun.
How long
And
have
you
you
can
been
see-
saying that? You've only had one a few weeks. You didn't even know what one was a few weeks ago.
Give Sasha the dirtiest look. just mean mugs the shit out. Like, Ice Cube could not mean mug harder than Bodrick does right now. He just...
Love it.
Sasha! You're ruining my vibe!
Just gives you a wink, pats you on the head.
No, I believe that I get your point. And you can see as their hand almost seems to smolder for a second before stopping. I can't do it right yet. I'm not there. But soon. Soon, I'll have my own gun.
They're pretty handy.
Well, yes, but I'm afraid that you don't move as fast as I do.
Nope. That's why she's got the distance one.
And they just kind of flip over the edge and kind of walk around the side of the building and then flip up the other side. I also have other tricks that makes it a little easier for me.
Yeah.
Now, before we waste the, twilight, how about you say we try out these new toys and see if we can save some children?
Sounds good to me. I'm in.
Everyone just hears a thud down in the street below. Aldrin's already gone.
Ileana close behind.
Yep.
The real question, I guess, is how do you three get down? And Arapsys just kind of back falls off of the building.
The answer to that, carefully.
I love how Arapsys just like backflips off the building. Aldrin just drops down like a fucking space marine.
And
And then there's that scene like, huh? Don't slip! Don't slip! Don't slip!
Audra gets a rope out.
Sasha gets a 26 to do a back tuck off the roof.
Love it. You know,
Show
a couple levels, more levels of Monk and Arapsys will have safe fall. Then it will be superhero landing. Superhero landing.
All right. And I think
Dustin finally gets off the building. All the vampires are dead.
all right. And this is where we will wrap things up for you guys tonight. However, we will go to a different scene as we pan away from the group.
The sight of them so
Pan away.
soon after I left the house sent a shiver down my spine, leaving me feeling deeply unsettled. It wasn't until I spoke with Captain Howdy that things started to click into place. I'm beginning to see his perspective, to understand his motivations. This past week with Javon has been a whirlwind of magical instruction. She's been guiding me, teaching me to harness and control this incredible power that resides deep within me. Honestly, I'm already feeling more secure, more hopeful about our small, unconventional family. Captain Howdy, in his usual fashion, has been relentlessly teasing me. It's funny, he feels less like a formal mentor and more like an older brother. A bit like Soren and I used to be. No, Ezra, don't go there. I quickly shake my head, trying to banish those old painful memories of family betrayal and refocus on my magic, willing it to settle and calm within me. Once I felt centered again, I set out to find this yarn spinner. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, only that it was an archfey whose allegiance we needed, whether through persuasion or by eliminating them as a threat. I probably should have anticipated more of a challenge, but I certainly didn't picture a colossal spider. The sight of it was creepy on multiple levels. My attempt to sway Yarn Spinner to our cause was met with a flat refusal, and then without warning, she attacked. The battle was brutal and exhausting. She landed a devastating blow, and a wave of pure panic washed over me. In that moment of terror, my magic surged uncontrollably, erupting outward, slamming Yarn Spinner against the wall. The hard cave wall. I heard the sickening crack of several of her legs breaking. Great. Now I made her really angry. I turned and bolted, desperate to find a safe place to collect my thoughts. But even injured, she was astonishingly fast. Just as she cornered me, Captain Howdy's words echoed in my mind. Let go. And I did. My magic didn't just surge this time. It exploded from me in a torrent of raw power, culminating in a blazing fireball. Walking back, a knot of dread tightened in my stomach. I was sure they'd be furious when they saw me, especially after what happened. But to my surprise, their immediate reaction wasn't anger, but concern for my injuries. I mean, I knew I was a bit banged up, but their worry caught me off guard. Of course, I still got the lecture, the whole don't go adventuring out alone and take better protective measurement speeds. I braced myself for it. But then, underneath the reprimands, I saw something I hadn't realized I missed so much. Pride. Seeing that look on their faces, feeling that warmth directed at me, it was overwhelming. I felt the sting of tears, threatening to spill. But I fought them back, just nodding along to their words. It sounds like my lessons are about to get a lot more intense. And honestly, there's this swirl of darkness boiling inside me. A power that probably should worry me. But instead, a small smile plays on my lips. It feels right. Like I'm finally, truly becoming myself.
And that is where we will draw this session to a close. And we will see you all in 2 weeks.